firmly rooted in tradition. Whether in the venue like Mountain Stage or intimate house concert, his solo shows connect with audience members of all ages, inviting them on a journey through landscapes and emotions both familiar and new. Listeners find themselves smiling, laughing, crying, and sometimes wondering, what the heck is he thinking? No matter the topic, audience members are often perched on the edges of their seats. We'll expect to see that this evening as well, and awaiting the next details of an intricate yet accessible story. Chris's songs pull down deep. Let's please do welcome first-timer to Music My Mother Would Not Like. Chris had live music. Please consider doing that. I mean, I'm grateful that you're here. Don't get me wrong. But the other thing that if you're going to commit to seeing live music, if I can ask that you consider buying your ticket early. This is another metric that is very, very important. And we have heard all too many times of fans that are disappointed because venues had to close shows because they weren't certain that they would have enough audience to warrant opening the doors. So they elected not to, and fans said, I was going to buy my ticket. I meant to do it. I didn't do it. And now the show has been canceled. And if all those people had, then it might have been, a good size audience and it would have been a wonderful show. And in the interim, everybody loses out. So if you're thinking about seeing live music, consider buying your ticket early. And again, this is certainly one of the safest ways for us all to congregate, and I appreciate you being here. Well, let's get to work. I'll be introducing each of the acts this evening. My name is Bruce Swan. I am your host and your MC for this evening. This West Virginia-based artist writes and performs new songs on guitar, fiddle, and banjo. Songs that are contemporary but also firmly rooted in tradition. Whether in the venue like Mountain Stage or intimate house concert, his solo shows connect with audience members of all ages, inviting them on a journey through landscapes and emotions both familiar and new. Listeners find themselves smiling, laughing, crying, and sometimes wondering, what the heck is he thinking? No matter the topic, audience members are often perched on the edges of their seats. We'll expect to see that this evening as well, and awaiting the next details of an intricate yet accessible story. Chris's songs pull down deep. Let's please do welcome first-timer to Music My Mother Would Not Like, Chris Heddix. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Bruce. Thank you. Got sound? We good?
Sounded great.
Just
like
right.
sound check.
Good deal. Hey, folks. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Coming to you from Morgantown, West Virginia, from my living room here. And so I got a few songs I'll sing you. I'll tell you a little story about each one. I'll keep this one brief. If you have a nose emoji, you can go ahead and post that, because this song is about noses, about my nose. And my nose usually arrives ahead of me. So I took my kids to the county fair when they were about 6 and 3, and I'm not a big fair goer. And I said, all right, we got 2 rules. I said, first rule is we're not going to make eye contact with any carnival barkers. And the second rule is we're not going to load up on junk food. Other than that, we'll go have a great time. We were walking down the midway, hot afternoon, kid on each side. I looked over, made eye contact with the carnival barker right out of the gate. Without missing a beat, he goes, hey, buddy, did that nose come with the glasses? Took my kids off. So that's where this song comes from. Here's the rest of the story. Well, did that nose come with the glasses? That barker said to me. I pulled my kids real close and I walked on by. Then I got jacked up on funnel cakes and I said, let's go and see if your old man still has an arm and has an eye. Oh, Lord, he got me. He reeled me in. He cast that bait right in front of me, and then he watched me make a pass and he watched me circle around again. Then he set that hook and he reeled me in. He smiled when he saw me coming and he said, let's make a deal. You buy 6 balls, I'll throw in 4 and that'll make it 10. Then he held up this big panda bear and he looked right at my kids and said, with balls like your dad's got, how can he not win? Oh, Lord, he got me, he reeled me in. He cast that bait right in front of me, and then he watched me make a pass and he watched me circle around again. Then he set that hook and he reeled me in. Well, I grabbed my balls and cleared my throat. Made a little space, I wound up real big and I let that first one fly. And my daughter started crying and my son just hid his face. when the last one, like the first night, came up dry. And that carny feigned some sympathy, and he offered this advice. He said, man, it helps to aim for what you're trying to hit. Then his lips curled into an evil grin, and he knew he'd caught me twice when I peeled 3 more 20s from my clip. Oh Lord, he got me, he reeled me in. He cast that bait right in front of me, and then he watched me make a pass and watched me circle round again. And then he set that hook and he reeled me in. Up and down the midway, they were watching one and all, and an eerie silence settled on the place. But I focused like a laser, and on every target saw a picture of that carny smirking face. And I finally threw a money ball, and that bear was mine to take, and the kids were proud to call me dad again. But the wife was none too happy when she learned I'd paid that snake $80 when I could have just bought us 2 for 10. Oh Lord, he got me, he reeled me in. He cast that bait right in front of me, and then he watched me make a pass and he watched me circle round again. Then he set that hook and he reeled me in. Hey, did that nose come with the glasses? That Parker said to me. There you go. So if you got your nose emojis, now's the time for those things. Sound.
You just muted, Chris.
Sorry about that.
Sounding good.
Well, good. Okay. Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah.
Thanks, folks. So I'm going to play you a song here. I'll stay in that key. Pretty different feel. So in 2016, I was down in southern West Virginia. There was a lot of flooding going on in a little town called White Sulphur Springs. And I had been asked by the Presbyterian Church if I could come down and just play some music while the cleanup was going on, just to kind of help take people's minds off everything that was happening. So a buddy of mine and I went down and we did that. So we were sitting in one of the big food tents, and this flood, the water had come up so quickly, it just caught everybody off guard. And I saw this woman sitting over there just in a state of shock. And I went over to chat with her, and she said that she had grown up there. She'd been through so many floods, and she just didn't think she could do it anymore. She couldn't go through another one and clean up. So as we sat there talking, this story kind of came out. Didn't that water come up fast, faster than I ever seen, and me living on the river all this time? Didn't that water come up high, like a scary dream? But dreams don't leave these kinds of marks behind. Oh, this river, there's nothing like it when it's running clear. Not a drop of trouble here, it's peaceful all around. Oh, this river, it can sure get out of hand. Let you know who's boss it can when too much rain comes down. When too much rain comes down. Didn't I say last time no more mucking out this mud and sweeping sand, forever sweeping sand? Well, ain't I standing here like before? This river's in my blood. If you've never lived here, you can never understand. Oh, this river, nothing like it when it's running clear. Not a drop of trouble here. It's peaceful all around. Oh, this river, it can sure get out of hand. Let you know who's boss it can. When too much rain comes down. When too much rain comes down. Didn't I lose it all this time? Not a splinter left when the house broke loose. It made a crack like a firing gun. Ain't I standing here talking to you? I still got my life, and that's more. That's a whole lot more than some. Oh, this river, there's nothing like it when it's running clear. Not a drop of trouble here. It's peaceful all around. Oh, this river, it can sure get out of hand. Let you know who's boss it can when too much rain comes down. 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 Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see. I think I'll switch instruments here real quickly. This will be a good time to switch to the banjo. These songs are off my album that you can find wherever you find music. You can buy one from me. Would be great. Downloads, but it's all out there. I released it. We started recording. We got 3 sessions in, and then the world went to hell in a handbasket with COVID, so we were delayed for a year. And Ron Soul from Mountain Stage produced it for me and picked the songs, and so it was a wonderful experience, and finally got it out there, and really excited the way it turned out. This song I wrote. I won't go through the long introduction, but when people get married and are husband and wife, and then they become mom and dad, that's a really different period of time. And sometime my wife and I had a lot of folks say, just remember that you were husband and wife before you were mom and dad, and try to remember what that's like. So this song comes out of that. Maybe when the kids are a little older, if we're still together then, maybe when we kick the world off our shoulders, we can fall in love again. Maybe I can get back to the way I used to feel for you, the way you used to send me into a spin. Maybe if we start right now and give it all our hearts somehow, we can fall in love again. And maybe when we find our lives ain't so crazy, and we both ain't worn so thin. We can find some time for you and me, and maybe we can fall in love again. Maybe once again you'll see that one great love you saw in me, the one you knew would see you through to the end. Maybe if we start right now, give it all our hearts somehow, we can fall in love again. We share a bed, but don't seem to care just who it is sleeping over there. It's hard to say just how that happened or when. Maybe if we push aside forgotten dreams and wounded pride, we can fall in love again. Maybe if we start right now and give it all our hearts somehow, we can fall in love again. Thank you. Thank you very much. The softest banjo you'll hear all night. How we doing on time there, Bruce?
You've got about 9 minutes, 2 songs.
Okay, 9 minutes. Let's see. I'll do, I really like this song. That was kind of a sad one. So, yeah. This is just about changing landscapes. Well, they lay me down in some family ground in 1901, in a spot that overlooked the farm, caught the rising sun. They'd visit me on Sunday upon that quiet hill. It seemed a place removed from time, but time is never still. Now the 4-lane runs beside what used to be my resting place. The farm is gone, 100 homes taking up the space. I'm lying here where I've been for years, but you know it's not the same. No, a soul can't rest in peace beside the 4-lane. Well, there was a day when the big highway didn't make it out this far, when the country road knew the wagon load long before the car, when the whining of the 18 wheels didn't pierce the silence of these hills. and the only lights in the sky at night were God's own stars. Now the 4-lane runs beside what used to be my resting place. The farm is gone, 100 homes taking up the space. I'm lying here where I've been for years, but you know it's not the same. No, a soul can't rest in peace beside the 4-lane. I can't recall the last time someone came to say hello. You can't stop on the 4-lane and the old path's overgrown. I know they have to see the stones as they fly by on their race. Do they wonder why there sits a grave in such a busy place? Well, there was a day when you passed away. You passed away at home. The friends around and the sights, the smells and the sounds you'd always known. There was preaching, there was praying, people crying, children playing. Then they'd lay you down in some family ground among your own. Now the 4-lane runs beside what used to be my resting place. The farm is gone, 100 homes taking up the space. I'm lying here where I've been for years, but you know it's not the same. Oh, a soul can't rest in peace beside the 4-lane. No, a soul can't rest in peace beside the 4-lane. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So one more here, you figure? Good. All right. I wrote this for a friend of mine. He was explaining a dilemma he had every Sunday morning with low traffic in town and was trying to figure out what to do. So I wrote this for him. Y'all probably face the same dilemma. I want to run it. Ah, the coast is clear. I should just gun it. Cops are nowhere near, clean as a whistle, clear out of sight. Though I could make it, that don't make it right. I play it careful. That's just the way that I am. I wouldn't do well in jail. Don't want a life on the lam, so I'll just sit here nice and tight and wait on this Sunday morning stoplight. You're messing with me again. I try to live my life right, but you're making me wanna sin. If Christ was in the driver's seat, oh, I'll bet you, and I bet I'd be right. I know that God's own Son would run this Sunday morning stoplight. I'm out for coffee, and then I'm headed to church. I let my foot off the brake. Car gives a little lurch, hoping to trip some switch unseen and trick that old light into turning green. Big brother's watching. I see up there on that pole a camera dressed like an owl, waiting to see if I roll. Next thing I know, I get a note in the mail saying, see you in court, son, or see you in jail. Sunday morning stoplight, you're messing with me again. I try to live my life right, but you're making me want to sin. If Christ was in the driver's seat, oh, I'll bet you, and I'll bet I'd be right. I know that God's own son would run this Sunday morning stoplight. Now I'm a thinking fellow, and it seems to me it could be blinking yellow. It blows my MPG to sit here idling, polluting the air. If I'm gonna kill the planet, can I kill it while I'm going somewhere? Sunday morning stoplight, you're messing with me again. I try to live my life right, but you're making me wanna sin. If Christ was in the driver's seat, oh, I'll bet you, and I'll bet I'd be right. I know that God's own son would run this Sunday morning stoplight. I know that God's own son would run this Sunday morning stoplight.
It's great.
There you go. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much.
It's Chris
Very
Haddix.
nice.
I can relate to the carnival barking. I spent, so I worked as a school teacher and would work in the carnivals in the off season. And it was, if the beer was flowing, the ribbon got pretty quick. And so lots of money. Those games are not designed to win. The basketball hoop is not quite regulation and tilted the wrong direction and all kinds of stuff. So, but anyway, great songs and wonderful stories. I love the song about traffic light. I think we can all identify with that. And yeah, that's, I really think that those owls should be illegal. I think it's not because they're catching people speeding. That's fine, but it's just not very sporting. The camera should be there. It should be obvious, but having an owl there, I don't think it's getting a sporting chance. That's my opinion. I'm not running for office. Doesn't really matter. But anyway, we're off and we're running, my babies. Things are looking good on a Tuesday night at Music My Mother Would Not Like. That was Chris Haddix. I'm glad you could make it with us. And it's nice to see that the room is filling in. Those of you just coming in, thank you so much for being here. I know you had some other choices tonight, and I think you made the right one, so I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much. And periodically, you'll see some reminders in the chat section about how you can make a donation, how you can follow the artists. You can sign up for their newsletters or follow them on social media. As we say each week, that this is really an important metric that presenters use to make decisions as to whom they're going to present on their stage. Their goal number one is to put seats in the seats, and then goal number two is to put the best act on stage as possible. But seats come first. That's how that game gets played. So if you want to see your favorite artist come to town, drop a line to the venue. Say, if you brought this artist, I would bring 20 friends. You got to do it. You got to do it. Otherwise, there's big trouble at the end of the week. But it's a really great way to support musicians and to help them get discovered by people that you know, because they're going to listen to you long before they listen to me. But the PayPal pool that we have been posting up, those proceeds are used to pay the venue, the artists, and the crew at the end of the week. We usually do that on Friday. And big shout out to our sponsors, undiscoveredmusic.net and hereithere.com. These two sponsors have been with us since just about day one, and thanks to the folks at AshevilleConcerts.com for recognizing Music My Mother Would Not Like as a bona fide venue. They have allowed me to market on their website. So next time you're in Asheville, you already know about Music My Mother Would Not Like, but maybe you're coming to town and you want to find out what else is happening. You can check out AshevilleConcerts.com. And I do want to thank you again for supporting live music in this fashion. I think it's simply the most convenient way for us to congregate. I know it's the most convenient for me, and I'm glad you're doing it. But it's a fun way to see a melange of artists that you perhaps might not have an opportunity to see. And while we have recycled or invited artists to return, the lineups are rarely the same. So this really is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. I mean, the likelihood of seeing these three artists on the same stage is very small. I mean, that's just practical. But thank you for letting us bring a house concert from our house to yours and from wherever the artists are. But as I've said earlier, the concert is the sum of the parts. And would you consider making a $25 donation? Think about what a ticket would cost for any concert where you'd find these artists performing. It would be in your best listening room, and I promise you that ticket's going to be around $20, plus the surcharges and the parking and blah, 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 and yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera. That's a lot of nothing. But the bottom line is that this is how we do support the artists. So thank you for being considerate of that. And we do encourage you to stay in touch with the artists after the show, connect with them, check out their merch section. Maybe they're coming to a town nearby you and you can get to see them live. Well, I'll have two guests on the show this week on AshevilleFM.org or 103.3 if you're in the Asheville area on Thursday afternoon from 4 to 6 Eastern Time. The Melodies and the Yammering starts promptly at 4 p.m. And it's always good to see you. I usually have Facebook open, so if you're checking out the show and you want to say hello, maybe ask for a song. If I don't have somebody in the studio, we'll see what we can do about getting it for you. Well, moving right along. It's a good thing because I'm getting tongue-tied. Well, Julia Othmer's voice is vibrant and emotionally potent. Her piano-driven performances are mesmerizing fusions of raw power, vocal artistry, and joy. The child of refugees, Julia draws from a richly cultured palette of experience to inspire her intensely human yet otherworldly songs. Using music to connect to people and social issues that inspire